Good morning, everyone, and welcome to beautiful sunny Staten Island, where we are out here today to remind Staten Islanders and New York in general to vote no on Proposition 2. This is the proposition that involves the expansion of power of the CCRB, otherwise known as the kangaroo court, that makes the job of police officers far more difficult than it already is and what it needs to be. We are joined today by, of course, Mr. Pat Lynch, the president of the PBA. Give a round of applause for that. We're also joined by Paul DiGiacomo, the vice president of the DEA, who helped put this together as well. Thank you. And we're also joined by Chris Monahan, the VP of the Captains Endowment Association. We're joined by my dear friend Marty Costello from the Lieutenants Association. And of course, we're joined by some elected officials, our lovely Assemblyman, who is also a member of the New York City Police Department, Assemblyman Reilly. And we're also joined by a Democrat who's more conservative than I am, Mr. Kalman Yeger of Brooklyn. Oh, and we're also joined by Billy Matarazzo from Senator Andrew Lanza's office. He couldn't be here. Senator So we know what Proposition 2 is about. The problem we're going to face is that, number one, New Yorkers don't know that there's an election. There's an election this Tuesday, and it's happening all over the city, and New Yorkers are going to be asked to vote on 5 ballot proposals. The rest of them are innocuous. You might want to vote no on all of them, but the most important one, the one with the most meat, the one that's most important for the safety and future prosperity of New York, is to vote no on ballot proposal number 2. The CCRB is not about police accountability, it's about police punishment. It's an organization that exists to basically punish police officers who are out there every day risking their lives and doing their jobs. There is no need for more accountability of any police officer in general. Police officers are already responsible to 5 district attorneys, 2 U.S. attorneys, an inspector general, internal affairs, the city council, the mayor, their own supervisors. There is no need for an expansion of the CCRB, let alone there may not even be a need for the CCRB in general. We know what will happen if this ballot proposal passes. The CCRB will go from being a complaint department to an organization that is actively out there trying to prosecute the police officers that make our city better. So I'm voting no. I urge all of my fellow Staten Islanders, if you care about the safety of this city, please vote no. I am also urging not only members of the New York City Police Department, but friends and family members of all New York City police officers. If you don't want to see your family member hung and strung out and jammed up and potentially lose their career over an innocent mistake or a misjudgment or any type of mistake made in the course of doing one of the toughest jobs in the United States of America, please, we urge you to vote no on Proposition 2. Tell your friends, tell your family. I want to call up a good friend and someone who's been as vocal as any human possibly can for the members of the New York City Police Department, Mr. Pat Lynch.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe. We're at a critical point in New York City. On November 5th, we have to decide where this city is going safety-wise. Are we going to continue to pile on New York City police officers and criticize police officers for doing their job effectively that you asked us to do? Well, now we're asking for your help. We need you to vote no on Proposition number 2 on the ballot. It's one more reason to freeze the New York City Police Department. CCRB is not a fair process. It's not a process where you can get justice. It's used as a tool to punish police officers by the criminal element. CCRB is staffed by incompetent people that are criminal advocates who are there to punish police officers unreasonably for doing their job. This is a critical time for the citizens of this city. 60% of New York City police officers live in the confines of New York City. If we vote, if our family and friends vote, if common sense people on the street that are taking the ferry, waiting for the bus to go to work, take the time to stop at the polling place and vote, we will win this issue. It's that important. We see on the news that many elected officials spend their time criticizing New York City police officers for going out to do the job they ask us to do. Well, here's the time when we can support those police officers. The police officers that are your neighbors. They're in your church, they're in your synagogue, they're in your mosque. They're waiting for the bus along with you. We need to support those police officers that are making it safe on this city. The job is getting more difficult. This is the time to say, let's stop, let's support law enforcement, let's keep our city the way it should be. Free for everyone that lives here, but most important for police officers, safe for them.
Thank you, Pat. Next we'll hear from Paul DiGiacomo from the Detective Endowment Association.
Thank you, Joe, for your support. You know, it's ironic that we're doing this press conference today on Halloween because CCRB is on a continued witch hunt to hurt members of the New York City Police Department. And as Pat said earlier, they're an incompetent organization. They don't know how to do proper investigations, and all they're doing is looking to further handcuff the police department. And if you see what's going on in the last couple of weeks, crime is ticking up. People in our neighborhoods are getting hurt. They're getting shot. 14-year-old child shot and killed in Queens. It's despicable. We need to be proactive policing, and the cops out there today are afraid to be proactive policing because of legislation like this. So I urge all New Yorkers to vote no on the CCRB referendum. Please vote no. Turn your ballot over and vote no. Thank you very much.
All right, now from the Lieutenants Benevolent Association, Lieutenant Marty Costello.
Morning. Thanks, Joe. Thanks everybody for being here. Just on behalf of the LBA, I just wanted to say that we're strong behind Councilman Joe Borelli and strong behind everyone voting no on Proposition 2 against CCRB. This really puts a lot of NYPD lives and our careers in jeopardy. And I strongly invite everybody in New York City, not only New York City police departments, to vote no against Councilman Proposal number 2.
And now we'll hear from the truck for a moment. Now we'll hear from a former member of the NYPD and a current member of the state legislature. The legislature which thankfully gave us bail reform and discovery reform, which is going to make our city even less safe than it is today. Thankfully, he didn't support that. Mr. Mike Reilly.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. This is something that's near and dear to my heart, as you can imagine. Having served as a police officer, a sergeant, and a lieutenant in the New York City Police Department, I know firsthand how CCRB is used as a political whim. You know, it's ironic that in the New York State Legislature, we took up legislation to stop using mugshots of those that commit crimes. But here we are, we're looking to use the personal lives of police officers against them. You know, probably I'm only one of a handful of members of the service that actually became legislators. And I could talk firsthand about this. You know what? I received CCRBs as a police officer. Matter of fact, I received 2 CCRBs from the same pimp in Midtown North Precinct. Filed a complaint against me. Then all of a sudden we respond to his house. He was beating up his SRO, single room occupancy. He was beating up his prostitute, who was his wife. We intervened. He pulled me down, tried to take my firearm, and I had to hit him. I had to knock his hand away several times. 4 officers with me. Couldn't mace him. We were in a single room occupancy. Eventually, I had to crack him and punch him in his face and knock out his teeth. All because he was going for my firearm. We arrested him. It went to trial. He filed a CCRB against me again. I went down to CCRB. I was interviewed. I told them the exact story I told you now. Was I exonerated? No. It was unsubstantiated. Unsubstantiated. You know what that means? That means that they couldn't prove or disprove. I was 100% honest and transparent in what happened. Matter of fact, I still have the scar on my hand from it. That's what officers deal with. their careers get beat up and destroyed for political whim. This will be for politics if this passes. There have been horrendous incidents that have happened, and yes, we all talk about them and we all say that it should have never happened. But the reaction to City Hall when an incident happens in New York City, they immediately bring charges with CCRB just so they could say they're doing something. Just remember the story I told you. An officer that gets an unsubstantiated, that mark goes against their career regardless. Even if they were 100% in the right. That's the reality that many people can't tell you. I can, because I have seen it. I have dealt with it. And the other thing that we're talking about is giving a budget to an agency, a guaranteed budget. Wouldn't you like City Hall to give the police department, DOT, and other agencies a defined budget so they can actually protect you? No, they want to give it to an agency that's going to actually look to hurt the innocent. That is unacceptable. Vote no on Proposition 2.
Thank you. And finally, and certainly not last but least, someone who has been a friend and colleague for 2 years now, someone who has been on the right side of every issue that I think the City Council ever votes on, and that's my friend, Councilman Yeger.
Good morning. Mike, I've heard Mike's story. I've heard this I heard it a couple of months ago when we were together at a meeting in Manhattan. Mike's story is every cop's story. And if it's not yet every cop's story, if this passes, it will be. Make no mistake about it. That's what CCRB is going to be geared up to do. They're going to be ambulance chasing for cases. It came down to my community board a couple of months ago, ostensibly to inform the community that they exist. That's not what they're doing. They're there to solicit cases. And as Mike said, if we give them a guaranteed budget, not based on their need, not based on the need of the agency, but tied to the staffing of the police department, it presupposes that because there are X number of cops in this city, there must therefore be X number of complaints. What kind of city have we become that our cops are our enemies? It's not the city I grew up in. It's not the city anybody grew up in. Our cops are there to protect us. The people who want this passed are the same people who protest that the governor is now going to send us new cops to get into our subways because the city isn't doing it. Those are the same people. They're protesting the number of police officers that we have in this city because it's too many. Don't like them in your neighborhood? Send them to mine. We love seeing cops in our neighborhood. We're not looking to protect police officers who act badly. What we're looking to do is to protect police officers who do their jobs. They do them honestly. In a split second, they have to make a call. And sometimes the judgment is right, and maybe sometimes the judgment is not 100%. But that doesn't mean that we get to, civilians get to, Monday morning quarterback a split-second decision by our law enforcement. It also doesn't mean, and I've said this many times, people who don't have the courage to put on a badge and a uniform and stand between me and my family in danger ought not be judging our cops. They ought not be doing it. They don't have the courage to protect New Yorkers from danger, but they believe that they can sit behind a desk and judge our cops. I'm tired of it. I'm supporting a no vote on all 5 questions because I believe the entire process is corrupt. I voted no to create this commission in the first place because I saw what was coming down. This is being backed by the same forces that are constantly attacking law and order in this city. I want law and order to remain strong. I want our cops to remain strong. And as Joe said, we have 5 district attorneys in this city, 1 citywide DA, special narcotics, 2 U.S. attorneys. We have the New York State Attorney General's office. We have the Inspector General of the Police Department. We have IAB. We have the Justice Department. We have the FBI. We have the Mayor, the Police Commissioner. Do we really believe we need one more set of eyes watching cops? Are cops not trusted enough in this city that they can do their jobs? And like I said, and I keep on saying this, I'm going to repeat myself, I know I said it before. Neighborhoods, elected officials that keep on complaining about our cops, that don't want cops in their neighborhood, send them to my neighborhood. Send them here to Staten Island. There are neighborhoods that are desperate to have more cops. A couple of days ago in Brooklyn, a gentleman walks into a nail salon, and for whatever reason, probably mentally disturbed, decides that that's the place where he's going to relieve himself. The store owner calls the police, because the store owner, as is his right, chooses not to have people walking in from the street urinating on the floor. The police respond. All is good so far. In comes a gentleman from outside to start ruckus raising, picks up a metal chair, and slams it into one of our cops' heads. He had nothing to do with the case. He was outside. He decided he's going to insert himself. That's the danger that our cops face every single day. And if God forbid, one wrong inch in that swing, and instead of seeing the picture of the cop getting wheeled out of the hospital 2 days ago and going home to his family to recover, all of these folks would be wearing uniforms and standing at a funeral. That's the danger we're talking about. CCRB is not there to protect us from that danger. CCRB is there to prosecute the cops who turn around and take out that guy who swings a chair at a cop's head. I want cops to feel free to take out that guy. Thank you very much. Please vote.
Thank you. So just in conclusion and to sum up, we want New Yorkers to know there is an election on Tuesday, and you can early vote now. Go to voting.nyc, find your early voting poll site. You can vote at your regular poll site. If you are the family member or the friend or any relative of a member of the New York City Police Department, and you worry every single night your son or daughter or spouse goes out, puts the badge on, and goes to work, we can't take away the dangers they face. But you have one opportunity this year to take away the ability of the government to punish them severely and ruin their career for the work they do and the work we demand they do and the split-second decisions we need them to do. So please, again, head to your poll sites, vote no on Proposition 2. Thank you very much.